G'day, welcome back. This is a continuation of a video I did earlier. I'll put a link to it down below. But yeah, I was applying for a non-immigrant O visa, marriage. And the last sort of visit to immigration, they put a stamp in my passport until the 19th of December. But they'd actually told me to come back on before the 19th of November to continue the process. And what they told me to do was to bring all the same forms and bits of paper, bank statements, copies of marriage certificate, etc., with me. And it's a continuation of the process. So on the 17th of November, I rocked up at immigration with all my paperwork and submitted it to them. Now, the only difference, I suppose, was that instead of a TM87 applying for the visa, this time it was a TM7, which was applying for an extension. I don't quite understand that, but a lot of this process I haven't really understood. But anyway, we went through the same process. I submitted that application or that extension of stay form. Now, they stamped all the documents again, and I had to write my name on all the documents again. But this time they gave me a couple of more things to do. I had to write my mum and dad's name and my phone number on a piece of paper, and so did my partner. That was just on a blank bit of paper. It wasn't a form, so I don't know what was happening there. But there was these other forms all written in Thai that I had to sign and write my name on. There was also another piece of paper that had basically like a list of questions on it. It was all written in Thai, so I don't know what those questions were, but apparently what's going to happen is that, so when I left, they gave me and I don't understand this either, but they gave me like my 90-day report, which I hadn't actually applied for, but they gave me a slip saying that I'd submitted one and I had to come back I had to submit the next one. I think it's by the 14th of February next year. The other thing they did was they put a stamp in my passport that was from that date, the 19th or the 17th of November, to I think it's the 18th of January, 18th or 19th of January, 18th of January. And they said to me, before the 18th of January, I will get a visit from the police. Now, I don't know whether that's immigration police or whether it's the local police. But and they said I had to be home. Now, I don't know when they're going to come, but they said they'd ring. They sort of gave me a bit of a warning and said, well, you better answer your phone, because if you don't answer your phone and they can't make an appointment to come and see you, that could end your application for a visa. So I'm a little bit concerned about that I will be able to answer the phone and be here when they come to give us the questions. I think it's the same questions like the list that they showed me before, but like I said, I don't know what those questions were. So at the moment, I'm waiting until the police call me and then visit me and ask me all those questions. And then basically the stamp in the passport says you have to come back here on the 18th of January. So this process is a bit foreign to me. I don't quite understand it all. But anyway, I'm just doing what they have told me to do. I suppose, again, I'm a bit of a disclaimer that this is my immigration office and this is what they're asking. So it's going to probably be different in most other immigration offices. So I suppose it's just find out what they want you to do and follow what they want you to do. So I'm just waiting now until I get the phone call and the visit, and then visit the immigration office again on the 18th of January. And hopefully I'll be issued with a 1-year O Non Immigrant Visa for marriage. Yeah, I'll be allowed to stay here in Thailand. Okay, so on the 22nd of November, TAC Immigration contacted me and said they were going to visit the next day, which was the 23rd of November. They were coming from Mae Sot, so this was TAC Immigration, but police. So yeah, I'm not sure what the connection is there, but that's what they said. So they made a time. They said 1:30, but we received a phone call about 1 o'clock saying that they're on their way from Mae Sot. It's about a 2-hour drive from Mae Sot to Payang Thai, which is where our home is. But anyway, they rocked up around about 2 o'clock, just after 2 o'clock on the 23rd of November. Now, what I didn't realise was that they didn't actually want to ask me questions or my partner questions. All they wanted to do was ask the witness that we had to provide questions. Now, of course, it was all the questions were in Thai, so I didn't really understand much about what they were saying. But I think basically they were asking if, how long I'd been living here, how, if they'd noticed any arguments or if they'd noticed me working or doing anything like that. So pretty standard questions for a visa application, I imagine. One thing I will say though is that if you're, when you're picking a witness, it has to be someone that lives nearby, like a neighbour or something like that. It can't be a member of the family. And one of the mistakes I made was that I didn't check that, like what they have to provide, the witness has to provide a copy of their blue book to prove that they live nearby and a copy of their ID. Now, what happened was we'd almost finished the interview. The police officers that asked their questions were about to pack up. But when they checked this lady's ID, it actually had expired. So just a word of warning, make sure that the documentation that has to be provided to immigration is all current and up to date. So basically what we had to do was go and find someone else, another neighbour, to be a witness. So the interview probably took twice as long as what it should have done. But anyway, all up, I suppose it took about 30 minutes, 45 minutes of, preparing, answering questions, and then printing off statements and getting them to sign it. So that was pretty much done. All I have to do now, I suppose, is visit immigration on the 18th of January and see how we went. All right then, that's the end of this one. I hope you found it a little bit helpful. Like I say, I'm pretty confused with this whole process, but anyway, we'll just keep going. So I'll thank you for watching and say cheers.